The position we're gonna work today is a little bit more complex. It's a great attack called Crucifix, okay? I'm gonna show you guys like three options based on that same position. Then I'm gonna give you guys 20 minutes to guys play around with that, okay? So how's gonna be the Crucifix? When I'm here, have a two type of grips I like to be, or double collar, like this, okay? Or cross grip in the lapel. That's my favorite grip, okay? Why? Because it's a cross, I cross his body. It's kind of like a seat belt, you have a way better control. When you're here, the person's kind of like a loose, okay? When you are here, it's a better control, okay? Usually in the beginner, when you don't have much experience, you explain this grip because it's a little bit easier to guys do. But when you start to get more experience, you guys want to have this control, okay? So put your elbows down. So when I'm here, look how I adjust the grip, and I have my elbow on his hips, okay? To try to avoid him does the front row. Heavy I am on his hips, like heavy I am here, harder to him does the front row and escape. If you start to release the pressure in the hips and you start to go higher here, you'll be used to the person front row. You see a lot of people losing the back in this position, okay? So try to be heavy on the hips. If it's a no gi, I recommend you guys use this hands on the hips, kind of like you cup the hips and use your shoulder on the back, and I like this grip in the wrist. I feel I have control about both sides of the body. You know, the other good control is try to control the neck, like that. It's the other very good control in no gi. Okay, but with the gi, I recommend you guys start with this control. Okay, you start with the double lapel and you deliver the grip to your hands like that. Okay, so he's gonna be here. Maybe I start to attack the clock choke. He start to defend. I'm gonna control his wrist. That's gonna be the first control I'm gonna do. When I control the wrist, I'm not gonna pull inside. I'm gonna apply pressure on down, just down. What I want with this grip is avoid him catch my hands like this. Okay, I need to keep his hands on the floor to try to prevent him catch my hands, okay? What I'm gonna do next, I'm gonna start to place my knee. You guys see it turn this way? So try to see if André maintain his knee, his elbow attached to his knee. He's not gonna have space to place my knee here, right? I'm gonna place my knee in this little spot here, look. And I'm gonna start to slide down. You see how I create that space? So look, his elbow is attached, there's no space. I'm gonna place my kneecap right here, and I start to slide down. Okay, in this position. And I'm gonna still have the hips. I'm gonna start to attack his neck. Usually what I do, I try to go to his shoulder, all the way through. I wanna make it more uncomfortable as possible. Kind of like I make a cross face, making the person look to the other side. Because what is gonna be the reaction? The person is gonna try to control your arm and push out everything down. Because it's gonna be uncomfortable. You know, usually the person is gonna have the head down, I go like this, look, in front of the face. You know, you see how I'm making it look to the other side? Look how it's uncomfortable. I know the person is gonna push this really hard. When they push it really hard, I use the force he is applied here to bring his arm, look, all the way close to my leg. I make this grip in the wrist, look, like this. I apply pressure, I bring his arm all the way back, and I'm gonna start to deliver to my leg, look. I'm gonna catch with my heel, and I'm gonna start to bring this arm all the way back, all the way back. Look how I bring my heel, kind of like torch to my butt, and I'm gonna deliver the grip. My main goal is not have the arm in this position, is have the arm in the other leg, like this, okay? In this position here, right? Kind of like a reverse omoplata. I'm gonna have my knees nice and pinched. When I get here, I already have the position. What I have to do now is this grip to go to his wrist, in front of his face, and the hands I have on his hands, I switch to my grip. So what control is this? What control is this? Kimono track, right? So look, I'm not going in front of the face the way how we did the last week. I go in front, not like over his face. I go right in front of his face, okay? And I have the control. Now, I'm gonna do a little step forward with my leg, and I'm gonna bring this knee to the ceiling, and I'm gonna fall back. Okay, try to don't slide this knee away to your partner, okay guys? Try to bring this knee up. So I do a little step, and my knee go up. Like this, and I'm gonna end up with the crucifix. Turn this way down. So guys, try to be aware to don't let the person catch your bottom leg. Okay, people with more experience, they're gonna try to catch your leg. Don't let that happen, okay? So maintain your knees nice and pinch, and try to keep a very good control by pinch your knees. I staple my legs on the floor, and I maintain everything nice and tight. Okay? So the first attack I'm gonna do, you guys see I have the kimono trap. I'm gonna control his wrist again. I'm gonna push everything down. I'm gonna start to move my hips a little bit to the side, and I'm gonna try to see this detail. That's something I developed by myself sparring, okay, and I think it's a good technique you guys add in your game. Standing just be here, try to bring your knees close to your chest, and maintain your body kind of like a small ball. Try to be more compact you can. So why I do that? To try to avoid the person slide out. Because to the guy's skate, the person's gonna try to do this. They're gonna try to put it back on the floor and move away from you, okay? So more you can have the shoulders and the back of the person in your chest, better you be, easier you be to finish, okay? So both, if you guys notice, both of his arms strapped, okay? He's gonna put the head down. What I have to do now, I go behind his ear, I'm gonna start to dig from the neck, I'm gonna try to go as deep as I can in the collar, okay? So because he doesn't have the hands to defend it, you'll be an easy thing to guys to do, okay? Try to go as deep as you can in the collar. When you get here, my elbow start to go to his back, and I get it tapped, okay? If you guys get here and they feel like you feel the person still resisting too much on the choke, you guys can bring this arm. Look, pay attention to this. I'm gonna bring my arm close to my ear. Look, I kind of like an overextending shoulder. Now I'm gonna move my head a little bit away just to create some room and pass this arm across. When I pass across, I'm gonna grab my forearm and I get it tapped. Okay? You see people turn this way. The detail about this position, guys, close your elbow. Yeah. The detail about this position is this. Look. If you guys try to go straight to the head, it's not gonna work because he's pushing his elbow down against my arm. You guys see how my arm is strapped? There's no way to get there. What I have to do, I need to overextend his shoulder. I slide my elbow, look. I open his elbow first, strap. I open his elbow and I bring it behind my ear. Close your elbow now. Look, he cannot. Now I have space to bring my arm all the way to the back. Okay, and I finish. Same things apply. If you guys are in the back, let's say I have a regular choke from the back, and the person trap your arm like this. Even if your hands get stuck. If your hands get stuck like this, that's what you have to do. You bring the arm all the way close to your ear, and I move my chest away. Look how I overextend his arm. And now I pass across, and I have the tap. Okay? The other option I want you guys to do is this, look. Sometimes you guys gonna end up here, and the person's gonna start to bridge over you, and they're gonna become really heavy on top of you. If that happens, you guys gonna feel uncomfortable, and it's gonna be hard to dig from the neck. So what you guys have to do in this case is this, look. I'm gonna replace my legs, I'm gonna do a little hip escape, I'm gonna switch my legs. So look how I have my left arm control his arm. I'm gonna place my right leg, and I'm gonna start to slide my knee underneath. I move my hips a little bit away from him, and my knee go underneath. When I place my knee there, my knee is gonna bring him to the other side. I place my first hook in the back, and I have the back. Okay, look how both arms is still trapped, and I'm gonna be able to go easy to his neck and finish the fight. Okay, that's the option I want you guys to work. I'm gonna do one more time. The other way. So I got the turtle. I'm gonna have this double grip in the lapel. I'm gonna deliver. Usually his elbow is gonna be nice and tight. I'm gonna place my knee under, and I'm gonna try to have my knee behind his elbow. Okay, you guys see how my knee is behind the elbow, right? I control his wrist. I start to go to the neck, all the way across on his shoulder. He's defending, I open up, and I deliver to my leg. I start to bring all the way back, and I switch the control. As soon as I get here, I trap everything, look, everything nice and tight. I'm gonna control his wrist, and I'm gonna control my own wrist. I do a little step, and I fall straight in my back, like this. Okay, and I'm gonna have this position. Now, I'm gonna control his wrist again, look. I push everything down against his belly. I move my hips a little bit away from him. I start to bring my knees close to my chest. My chin is gonna be over his shoulder, everything tight. I go behind his ear, I dig from the neck, I try to go as deep as I can, and my elbow go to his back, and I finish. The person didn't tap, if you're gonna waste a lot of energy here. You go behind, you catch your own rear, and you place behind. If you get a control, the person starts to bridge over you, you switch your legs, you place your knee under. When you can see your knee on the hips, you have the right position. Don't try to bring the person back if your knee is like in the middle of the back. you need to have your knee on the hips, like this. I place my leg on top and I bring it to the other side. So when I get here, it's gonna be the trap. Okay? So I'm gonna walk around, try to do like both sides and switch bottom top. I'm gonna give you guys 20 minutes. If you know anything else from there, be free to do any positions from there. Okay, from the crucifix. Okay? Any questions? You guys are good? Bye. 1, 2. Let's work.